Hello and welcome to, well, I suppose Jaunt 5 would be the obvious name for it, but it's really a mini jaunt because it's my first ever semi-wild camp and my first stealth camp. It's 4 in the morning. I don't know if you can hear the sound of the trees and the wind. In a secret location in Surrey. I'd rather not say. And hopefully I'll do some artwork tomorrow, and that will be the art for this episode. I got here rather late. I meant to get here in the light and do some shooting, but I misjudged when it went dark. It's now about, I guess, dark about 5 now, and the bus, there's loads of school kids and traffic, and it took an extra half an hour, and so by the time I arrived it was actually dusk, which meant I had to set up the tent in the dark, which wasn't too bad, although it's best to do it in, dusk, so you don't have to shine lights around, so that made it a bit stressful. And it's the first time I've camped in November. I had people with longer memories, it was before I started this podcast, would know that Jaunt 2 was in October, and my gear wasn't good enough. I didn't really understand R ratings of mattresses, or I knew I was stretching the season of my bag, but it turns out my old Caramore bag was 1 season at best, and even then it wasn't very good for the British summer. So I got 3 season, and I had a Vango mattress, the one that died on was it Jaunt 3, yeah. And one of the Jaunts. But yeah, it just was, I was very badly prepared. I didn't have any base layers then, I didn't have any down jackets, I didn't have anything. Ended up raiding a local charity shop for jumpers, wearing those, and then the backpack died, so it was a disastrous trip. So that's kind of put me off autumn and winter camping, but needs must. I've got the hiking channel now, which is Hard Up Hiker. I suspect there isn't much of a new audience for this podcast. I expect it's a couple of people I know, but if there are anyone out there that wants to see a video version of this, that will be on YouTube, on Hard Up Hiker, HARDUPHIKER, just as the @ that's the @ username, so it should find it. And I've been doing lots of gear videos, but it's kind of weird, it's like doing them from my garden, so it's like, why not come out and do something a bit more wild, or semi-wild. I can hear the traffic of a local motorway in the distance, so I'm not completely away, but it's wonderful to sort of lie here and listen to the wind and the owls and the odd very strange noise, which I think is the deer. I made sure I ate away from the campsite on a bench, so that tells you that it's not a completely wild place. A rather damp bench because it's been raining recently. I was going to do this a few days ago, but that was the day after fireworks night, and I knew that'd just be possibility of explosions, because it was another night which was, well, wasn't rainy. Which today, the night and the evening, there was a little bit of rain, but mostly dry. So the bench was wet. And I made some food, a nice risotto, and with my alcohol stove, which I use now, much more stealthy. And I'd already sort of camped up and then left the tent dark, so hopefully no one would find it. Which they didn't, as far as I know. Though, interesting, while I was sitting there, some people turned up with torches to look at the thing I was sitting next to, which is a spooky tower. And people who follow my artwork might work out where that is, but please don't comment about where it is, because I don't really want to get the ire of the people that own this place. But yeah, and there was probably someone was here. I was like, yeah, but I don't know what they were doing. So I did a sort of video testing a few of the head torches. To do some more shooting for that tomorrow, and do some artwork. I'm planning to do a time lapse. I've got a new little tripod. It was only 15 quid, so I could justify it. I shouldn't be buying any more gear because of money. Partly what happened after the trip was my economic situation changed. So I can't really do the long trips anymore. But I will do either day trips and talk about those, or more likely talk about my stealth trips. I'm planning another trip, either November or December, down a fairly well-known long distance path, but I'm only going to do like maybe half of it, or if see where I go. I can get there by bus. I'm not sure about heading back. It's going to be a bit of an adventure getting back. I might treat myself to a train trip, but that's still well, I can afford that. So yeah, it's wonderful to get out. I've got better gear now. The down bag, and there's a liner I've got with it, and the mattress are doing their job, and it's 5 degrees, although really in the wind it's more like 1 or 0. It's really cold. Out the wind it's not too bad, but even so it's not certainly warm in the tent. But it's quite nice to be snug in this sleeping bag. The only thing is I didn't bring enough water. I misjudged what the cooking used. I thought it was 300ml, it's actually 700ml for the risotto. I had made it, risotto was lovely. Just threw in some, what the Yanks would call summer sausage, which is a very apt description of it. It's some sauces on sec, which John gave me. And that was really nice. And I also brought some Parmesan flakes. Yeah, posh. I do posh camping. They were little Parmesan flakes. So I don't think I was being super posh, not Waitrose. But that was really nice. And yeah, did some filming. I was trying to aware about not flashing lights around too much, but obviously head torch review, you're going to be doing that and reviewing the what they called Sovereign. I bought them before the things changed, and again, I like a lot of stuff. I would not have bought it, and I wouldn't have gone on Jaunt 4. And I hope you all enjoyed that. If I knew what was going to happen with my money situation, so it was all like, oops, so I'm having to be very careful. Obviously, camping in winter, you need a certain amount of gear. And so I allowed myself to buy a cheaper, though not too cheap, down jacket, because my old one, when I'm doing the drawings or paintings in winter or spring. It's a great jacket for the Decathlon MT100. Well, this isn't a gear review podcast, but it's a very good buy if you're layering up, but not so great if you are. Not so great if you're static. It's not really it's very optimistic. Like all these things, like sleeping bags and jackets, and apparently some tactical head torch specs are all like lies, damn lies, and statistics and lying specs. It's -5, the Decathlon, which is bullshit. I would have felt cold unless I was very layered up in this weather. So it's more like a 5 to 10, see. The one I've got at the moment it's got more down fill, and it's Teflon coated fill, so it's waterproof, or well, more waterproof. Down, you shouldn't get down wet, but it's always a possibility. If you have a sun shower or something, so it's good to have it sort of hydrophobically coated in some way. And it's a posh coat, but it's been reduced in the Black Friday sales, so I actually managed to get a Black Friday bargain, which is pretty amazing. And it's a British company, Fjern. But yeah, Sport Pursuit is the site. Check it out. I thought it was complete bullshit, but actually it turns out good reviews, and yeah, it is. It's like the prices are like, what? And you think, must be a catch. Seemingly not. I don't know, maybe it's an end-of-line stock. I don't know how they managed to sell these things at that price. So I'd already promised myself last year, when I found the other coat a bit too cold to the depths of winter, I was going to buy a new one. So I thought, okay, I've already promised myself, but it's... You make do with what you've got, really. And that's the whole point. That's the point of the more the YouTube channel, but So yes, I'm glad I've got that. The down bag is brilliant, which is the one I was using on Jaunt 4. But I've got using a little liner to it, which is lowering the rating. I think it would have been cold at this 5 degrees in just a down bag. But, so yeah, it's gone quite well, though I'm a bit wary of saying that, just in case it goes wrong. And I say this is my first ever stealth camp, my first ever real wild camp. I've been on very wild campsites. I've never really camped out into the, semi-wild. But yeah, I wish I brought more water. I wish I got here earlier. Partly my fault. I had an art. Going back to the art, I had a bit of an art-related emergency that my pens had clogged. My platinum preppies, which I use, which are my backups, were all clogged, and I had to unclog those, and that sort of wasted another half an hour before I was going, and I should have just gone, but I was a bit like, let's clean these. And I was, this is what I do. This is the reason why I was planning to go in October and I never did, prevarication. So it's early November, but I need to do this more often. I've enjoyed it so far, and I need to just get out there and do these things, rather than stew at home thinking I can't go anywhere because of money, which is partly true. But, if you take your home with you, and you take your food with you, and use buses and minimal transport, or just walk, yeah, it's possible to cheaply do it, but it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to do. So I'm glad this Spotify stroke Anchor app, it seems to be working with the. We'll find out if it's working with the microphone, otherwise we're talking to ourselves. We just hear a muffled recording. But yeah, it's been good so far. We'll see what happens with Dawn. I'm going to get up early. About an hour before dawn proper, because I seem to remember, well, I'm usually up at this time. I'm usually actually awake always in the night, so I know roughly that actually it gets light about an hour before dawn, or starts to get light, and given where I am, which is in the woods, but near a path, and visible from that path, the site, well, stays open. It doesn't get locked up, but officially it's opened at dawn to dusk, and the cafe doesn't open till 10. Unfortunately, there used to be a water. I don't know if it's changed, but there used to be a little water pipe, a water tap at the cafe, but it broke, and probably COVID, they took it away. They've never replaced it, and they're all like, "Oh, you can use the toilets." Yes, between 10 and 5 p.m. I did bring my water filter. There isn't any streams on this site. There's a river nearby, or a large stream really, but that's at the bottom of the hill, and I don't want to go all the way down there. So I'm trying to make sure I've got some water for tomorrow, at least for a coffee, and I brought porridge as well. You see, I'm trying to be healthy and trying to lower my cholesterol. I got my results of my diabetes test. Yeah, I had a diabetes test because I was worried I got diabetes, and it's all got the all clear. I have low platelets though, which is a bit strange. Apparently, I should drink less. Well, they're going to see if it's anything to do with alcohol. I don't drink that much. And yeah, that's enough of me rabbiting on in a tent at 4 in the morning. I'll speak to you soon. If I turn it, work it out, switch this thing on. Yeah, I'm recording this a day or so after I got back from the wild camp. Just an update. Yeah, I forgot the paper. So I didn't actually get to do any artwork. I really wanted to do time-lapse artwork. But actually the next day, fuck AccuWeather. I usually use several apps on my phone for weather. I don't just use one, but the easiest one is an app called AccuWeather, which is on my phone lock screen, and that kept saying, "Oh, it's sunny," or "It's going to be cloudy." And no, what happened is while I was having breakfast and recording a few little videos for the YouTube channel, it just started. I could see the mist in the distance. I was like, uh-oh, and yeah, it just shut down, and it was going to shut down for all the afternoon, and I got completely drenched, and then I forgot the paper anyway, so yeah, that didn't happen. So the artwork is a picture of me when I was having my breakfast, when it wasn't so terrible. But generally, yes, it was a success, and I didn't get hassled, and I didn't get any problems at all. The only minor ones were that forgetting the paper for the artwork, and I took the pens, I took the watercolour, I just forgot I took the pad out for to do the portrait sessions that I do, and I forgot to put it back in again. which is a problem of packing well before. But the stress of packing means that I try and pack well before I go, to try and reduce that sort of last minute thing. What have I forgotten? What have I forgotten? Which is always very prevalent. And I don't have space to keep everything packed in the flat, and everything would get a bit damp in there if they did. So on the floor. So yeah. And I lost the little remote for my tripod. I've got this new little, sort of cheap Chinese. It's quite good. It was 15 quid thing. It's a 1.7 meter selfie stick stroke tripod, which I was having fun recording with, even in the rain. But unfortunately, I dropped the little remote control somewhere. But it's something I never use anyway because it doesn't seem to work properly with video. And I have to remember to reconnect it, and that's just a massive faff. But it's annoying. I've lost that. But yeah, altogether a success. So we'll have more stealth camping, more wild camping, jaunts, which I'll probably do under sort of these mini jaunts under Jaunt 5, I suppose. I don't know if each one of them was going to. I'll up the number for each one. I don't know. Not sure. So I'll speak to you soon.